Hi and welcome to this new super special video. Look what I just picked up. The new Bose SoundLink Revolve and the new Bose SoundLink Revolve Plus. And today we are going to take a look at both of these. Clavinet Junkie already presented the SoundLink Revolve and now we also have the SoundLink Revolve Plus here. I actually ordered my one or pre-ordered my one and it should arrive in 4 days. But then I found both at the store and I immediately picked them up. So we can now check them out here. So I would say we will simply start with the little one. So let's maybe put this aside so you can still see it. Nice packaging. And when I had listened in the store, I even preferred the smaller one here. You can see I have shaky hands because I'm very excited to unbox those. So yeah, they come in this foil here. So they are brand new sealed. And let's get them open. And I got them from this, I don't know, you say Hauptbahnhof in German, so the really big train station here in Berlin. There's a special kind of store and they had everything new. So they also had the Bose here. So let's take this off and cut through the ceiling here. And here is the Bose. So packaging also smells pretty strong, typical for Bose. And here it is, let's take it out. It feels pretty heavy in the hand, although I expected it to be a bit bigger. It is quite small. Underneath here we should only have a charging cable and a manual. So it reminds me of the Apple packaging, also with this kind of plastic thing here. And yeah, just your charger, your micro USB cable, charging plugs and also a manual. Nothing very special, the typical stuff. And they went with micro USB here and not with USB-C like B&O did. So yeah, this is everything. Packaging again looks pretty nice, very high quality. Let's put this together here. And let's put this aside. And quickly, check out the speaker. Let's take a JBL Flip 4. Let's take a JBL Flip 4 here. This was my Xiaomi Mi speaker. Let's take the JBL Flip 4 here and you can see that it is a bit bigger, a bit taller than the Bose, but overall a bit lighter and I don't know, less premium feeling. And let's also do the smell check. It smells typical for Bose, so like some kind of rubber or glue or something. On the top you have your buttons. I don't really like this design, but otherwise I really like the white color with the small model and the black color with the big model. But now I don't want to mess around that much and let's get to the big boy here. And let's unwrap it from this foil here. I think we already got a start here. And it looks quite the same, just that it has a handle so you can carry it around. It falls directly into the class of the UE Mega Boom because it weighs 1.9 kilograms. So not really that much for a speaker which costs over $300. So this one is $330 and the small one is $230. So they are both quite expensive. And I really cannot believe that I got both brand new speakers before they are released here on my table. And I can take a look at them. The big one and the small one. This is pretty exciting. Even for me. Now let's uncut this and maybe do it better than before. Okay, so here we have the bigger model. Quite hard to get this open because they put 2 of the stickers on there, so I couldn't cut them. But here we have the bigger one, so this kind of destroyed the unbox experience. But let's take it out, and it is quite a lot bigger than I thought. Yeah, also I saw them in the store, but this is, I don't know, it feels quite bulky at the bottom. Let's maybe take off this foil. The smaller one didn't have one. But inside of here we have the same stuff as with the other one, just a bit bigger and a bit dirty. We also have a micro USB charging cable, so at least it doesn't charge through a proprietary charger. And now let's maybe get this on here again, maybe stick this on there. Okay, it is broken anyway. And let's put this on so that it fits. Don't make any more problems, come on. The packaging looks nice, but it's quite complicated to unbox. So now we have them both unboxed here. on my table, let's also take the JBL Extreme. You can see this is a huge speaker compared to the rather little Revolve Plus and also the JBL Flip 4. I hope you can all see them. You can see the JBLs always are bigger, but when I took a listen in the store, they both sounded quite promising. The Revolve, of course, the Revolve Plus, of course, with a bit more upper bass and a bit fuller sound, but this managed to get some quite impressive amount of nice deep bass kick. And you can see we have this handle over here. I don't know why my microphone does this. I don't know. Okay, not sure. But yeah, you can see it looks quite nice. Also this one, they both feel quite high quality. Although of course pretty small for this amount of cost, so 230 and 330. But now I will wear my headcam. Please put up your headphones because I'm recording it with high quality binaural microphones, and enjoy the sound comparison. So now let's check both of them out. I think you could already hear that I'm quite a bit excited because I made so many pronunciation mistakes. Now let's maybe start with the little Bose sounding Revolve. Eventually it isn't charged, so I already prepared a cable.
English, press and hold the multifunction button.
Yeah, it's okay.
Ready to pair.
Now we are ready to pair. It already appeared on my Bluetooth list. And let's take a listen.
iPhone Bononi.
Yeah, cannot pronounce my name. And now let's maybe take a listen to a quite heavy track and see how it performs. I'm pretty excited to get those because they only are released in 4 days here in Europe. So somehow I already found them, but now we got them over here, and let's take a look and have a listen, of course. So I will start with this Nigel Good track here. We are at about 50% volume. Let's maybe turn it up a bit. I would say that it sounds clearest from the bottom because the one single full range driver is firing downwards. On the sides we also have 2 passive radiators, and the bass kick pretty punchy, pretty nice sounding. Now let's maybe check it out against a JBL Flip 4, which is less than half the price. And let's see how this one performs. We are connected, and let's try another track.
You don't have to wait until the world is over. Tell me how you feel. Why can't you take me closer? If I could be the wind, I could take you higher. If I could steal the sun, could I be your fire? I'll take it to the moon.
So of course, due to this acoustic lens, treble is downfiring and then goes dispersed due to an acoustic lens here. So you never get the real good treble, which a convenient speaker like the JBL Flip 4 will give you. But of course, if you turn it like this or something, or you hang it somewhere and you listen from under the speaker, I don't know, then you will of course get the same sound. And with the JBL, it already gets lost if you turn it like this. So all the treble will be gone. I accidentally hit the play and pause button. But for now, I would say it sounds quite nice. I mean, the bass was pretty strong, rather on a level of a JBL Charge 3 or even better, because the bass was simply very nice, very kicking, very powerful. Let's simply try a pop track here. So you can hear it sounds a bit hollow in the mix, but it's okay.
Happiness is for you.
really like this track for testing because especially in the main part you get some pretty heavy bass kicks, and I would say that the Bose really is yeah, I don't know, speaker for modern music, because the JBL sounded a bit more precise in the bass, but the Bose really had the deeper, better bass here. Although I would say mids and treble are equal, because treble is nice to hear, but mids sound a bit more, I don't know, powerful on the Bose, although they sound a bit discolored because, yeah, due to this acoustic lens. But I think it is okay. It doesn't wow me that much, but I think bass is pretty nice. But of course you expect this if you pay this amount of money. I don't know what it is. Music always starts playing here. Now let's maybe take this JBL Charge 3. You can see it is much bigger than the Bose. So the Bose really is a tiny speaker compared to this thing, but still about $50 more expensive. And let's check out another pop track here.
See the world through a cryptic mind. Can't say I'm sorry. I broke wrong and I twisted line.
Yeah, bass definitely is on the level of the JBL.
Is a heavy load. Caught in the middle with a tainted soul. You took along, so tell me what your aim is. You say I'm wrong, so tell me why you're staying. I'm a killer with a smile.
Wow, these two are pretty comparable, because the JBL also is a speaker which doesn't have that great treble response, and also mids sound a bit hollow on the JBL. But overall, I would say that I like the Bose more. I never expected me to say this, because I usually do not like Bose at all. But yeah, the bass on the JBL is a bit more precise again, but the Bose always tends to sound a bit out of control, maybe because there's too much power or something. But of course it has a very nice warm bass, which isn't that precise like the JBLs, but they sound very big and very powerful. Of course the JBL is much louder and also more rugged, so you can throw it in a bag. But for outdoors this might be even better, because battery life is also pretty good on this one. And also it is splash proof, it's smaller, it's lighter than the JBL, and it also has this nice real 360-degree speaker sound, which we usually only know from the Librotone 2 there. So yeah, UE is no comparison against this. And speaking of UE, sorry, let's take the UE Wonderboom here. You can see, I think, yeah, curvature should be the same, because the UE is quite a bit thicker but less tall than the Bose. And let's maybe check out another track and also compare the 360-degree sound of those. So let's pair up with the UE Wonderboom, also a brand new speaker. Costs about $19, but you can already find it for $90. And let's check out a jazz track here and see how the treble changes. The Wonderboom has one driver here and one driver here. So you can hear it sounds a bit off here, and now you get some treble again. So yeah, treble comes from here, and bass from here and here, because there is this yeah, kind of normal UE 360-degree sound design, because there's no acoustic lens. Yeah, but I would say this is enough for me, because yeah, no one listens to a speaker like this. I mean, when did you listen from a speaker from the downside for the last time? I don't know, I never did this. But of course it's nice to have a full 360-degree sound. So now let's check out the Bose. It really remains the same, and even becomes clearer from here. So yeah, it always sounds the same. Of course this is quite impressive, but unlike the Wonderboom, you never get the real treble response, because it always sounds a bit off, but always the same. So it depends what you want. If you want treble, but not all the time, you should go with a convenient speaker. But if you want to have yeah, daily speaker, which is better for the real life, because you never sit directly in front of your speaker, this might be the one to go. And also, like I said, bass is quite impressive. But now we already are at 9 minutes. Let's maybe check out the previous generation of the speaker, because I already have it, or I still have it, this little Bose SoundLink Mini 2. Some other people already sold theirs because no one really likes it anymore. I mean, it is already 5 years old, or the design is 5 years old, not the speaker. And my one also has a battery issue, so you always have to plug it in and then it turns on, although it is fully charged. So now it turns on, and I think we already should be connected. And before it disconnects, because it also has a Bluetooth error, let's maybe check out another track here. So maybe to see how the improvement is. And although this is an acoustic lens, you still get better treble, which simply shows how bad the Bose SoundLink Mini 2 is. You can hear it is very directional. So already when I turn it like this, you will lose some treble. Yeah, also bass got more powerful and more precise with the new Bose Revolve here. Maybe let's also check out a jazz track again. Sorry, I just had to switch my cameras really quickly because my action cam died, although sound is still the same, so still a binaural recording, so leave your headphones on. And now let's check out the jazz track. So you can hear that treble response is even better, but from every angle. And not only one, angle. This simply sounds, I don't know, mushy, simply not good, totally, I don't know, hollow, simply not like a speaker should sound. But we also have to keep in mind, this design is 5 years old, but I don't know why they didn't came up with anything new. Although there still are some fanboys of Bose which still think this is the best, I think now they should understand that even Bose has something better now. So let's turn this off. I think you press it only once. And let's check out the big boy here. You can see it is quite a lot bigger than the little one here. Also, the footprint is a lot bigger. And let's check this out. Like I said, overall, I really like the speaker. It sounds better than I expected it to sound. Also, treble doesn't even sound that covered. It doesn't sound covered. It simply sounds like it was facing another direction. This is due to the acoustic lens. And now, let's check out the JBL Extreme against the Bose SoundLink Revolve Plus. Because, many people asked for this. You can see that the Extreme is a lot bigger. Okay, this is quite equally big. I think you can see it. But overall, if you take a look at them, you will notice that the JBL, I think, is 3 times as much cubature than the Revolve Plus. Of course, you are seeing them from the side, but I'm recording from the front, so please don't wonder. This really is a mess. The battery with the Sony Action Cam is so bad. But now, let's check out this Nitro Good track again. Of course, first let's maybe turn this on here. I think it's also out of battery. So maybe they didn't come charged right out of the box. So let's also charge this one. Also, like I said, charging is done through micro USB. Driver layout is the same, so 1 main driver at the bottom and 2 full range drivers at the side with an acoustic lens again. And it should turn on.
English. To select.
I know.
To pair.
Now she's ready to pair. Already appeared on my list, so this goes really quickly. Also, Bose has some pretty nice Bluetooth chips inside.
Connected to iPhone Bononi.
Again, cannot pronounce my name. And now let's check out this Nitro Good track again. Yeah, this sounds a lot more powerful. could hear that the Extreme was already getting out of control, bass was distorted, but I would say that the Extreme is in another class. Of course, it is much bigger, but about $130 less expensive because you can already find it below 200 bucks. So I would say this is maybe overpriced, but you cannot say it like this because the Bose sounds more hi-fi for sure, because this is simply a distorted sounding boombox right now. Let's check out a jazz track to make the differences more obvious. Yeah, sound also remains the same due to the acoustic lens. You can simply hear that this sounds just wrong. Of course, also very directional, so if you turn it away, you will lose all of the treble. And there also, of course, is this typical extreme 70 Hz bass peak, which makes it sound very distorted already after 50%. But I would say if you are an bass outdoor junkie, don't go with the Bose, because the JBL is more rugged, more waterproof, although both are splash proof. Also, battery life is better. You can charge 2 devices at once, and it will probably also be way louder than the Bose here. I will check this out in another video, because now I cannot do this because it is already late in the evening. But I can tell you this will be much louder than the Bose, and the Bose will also compress more because there's only one driver, and here we get 6 drivers. So now let's maybe check out something more extreme with more bass kicks. You can hear a distortion from the Extreme already. This sounds totally clear and even punchy. Of course you get stereo sound here, so it sounds a bit more, broad. I would say that this, despite being an acoustic lens design, sounds way more linear, way more right than the JBL Extreme. The JBL Extreme already is pretty outdated. I think they should really come up with a bigger model now, or a better model, a JBL Extreme 2 or maybe the Space Pro Go. But I think if you maybe only want to do a small party together with your friends, or you want to bring it to school, maybe you got this for your birthday or something, and now you want to make a little party in the classroom, you should rather bring this, or maybe you have a little, party in your garden or something, then you should really go for this. But if you need some real loudness and some real, boomy bass, not good bass, speaking of boomy bass, definitely go with the Extreme, because it still is the loudest, the most bassy speaker in this class, or in this size class, of course. But the Extreme, the Bose, of course, sounds simply more correct. If you're listening on normal volumes and you don't need super loudness and you want a clear sound, a clean sound, definitely go with the Bose. Now let's maybe check out another pop track, which I also like to use often because there's a lot of dynamic range in it.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall.
Yeah, this simply sounds a little bit tinny because there's only this upper bass. Mid sound way fuller here, also bass way nicer.
It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. When I'm in this town, look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car, nothing can break me, no.
So I personally definitely prefer the Bose here, because the Extreme simply doesn't give you this kick, doesn't give you this, musical feedback, which the Bose definitely gives you, which is very unexpected for me, because I expected it to sound pretty average, but it actually is a very nice performing speaker. So yeah, because many people asked for a direct comparison, there will be a longer, quick comparison between these two, but now I can already tell you which speaker is for which person. If you are on a small budget and you only want a party speaker which you can take out, which you can blast on maximum volume, and you don't really, I don't know, listen to jazz or to pop music on normal volumes at home, and you have a stereo system at home and you only want something for your beach and for the party, just go with the Extreme, as it still is the best package for this size and price category. But if you want to hear music normally, like most people do, and you simply also listen to jazz music, classical music, like everything, so a whole variety of music, and not only this party EDM, NCS stuff, then you should rather go with the Bose. Of course, it also is enough for a little party, so it isn't super soft, and it also sounds okay on maximum volume probably. But of course, if you want a huge party and you simply want to blast loud music, go with the Extreme. If you want to blast good music, a bit less loud, then go with the Bose, as I think it is the more mature sounding speaker. But of course, again, for a party, go with the Extreme. Now let's maybe also check out the little Bose sounding Revolve against the bigger model.
30%.
Yeah.
Connected to iPhone phone only.
Those voice prompts are horrible, but thankfully you can disable them from the app. I will also download the app soon, but now we don't need it. You can turn it on from this app, which works pretty nicely. And now let's maybe check out the same track with the little one compared to the bigger one, because in the store I somehow preferred the small one. So let's see how they both perform.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting
Yeah, no, the bigger one is much better.
spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my
But I would say the small one isn't that far off. I mean, it still sounds pretty nice even compared to the bigger one here. Let's check out another track. If you lift it up, it becomes a bit less hollow because of the reflection on the table. Yeah, this sounds pretty nice. Let's also lift up this one. Yeah, you can hear that. I think those two are a pretty nice pair of speakers, because the little one already sounds pretty nice for the size, has a pretty nice bass, nice mids, and then if you want to go bigger, if you want to go better, you should go with this one, and it simply takes the good things of the small model and improves them. So it gets deeper bass. In the store I couldn't really notice this, and also a bit more upper bass. So I think there's a little upper bass boost at 250 Hz with the big one, and not so with the smaller model. But still, it takes the advantages of the small model and simply puts them in a bigger package, which is then more powerful and more capable of producing good sound. So I think this definitely is a nice, pair of speakers. So you simply have to decide by size and price, because sound is similar, only better on the bigger one. So not totally different like with other speakers. So for example, the Extreme compared to the Charge or the Flip 4 is something totally different, but those two sound very similar, only that this one is more powerful. And now the last thing I want to do is compare the little one and the JBL Flip 4 on low levels, because the Bose has a Bose typical bass boost for low levels, so it sounds pretty nice and full-butted on lower levels, which is of course a good thing. Most other speakers like the FIFA products or the JBL products do not do this at all, so they sound very tinny under 30%. So now let's check out the JBL compared to the Bose on low levels.
You don't have to wait until the world is over to tell me how you feel.
Way nicer here.
Could you take me closer? If I could be, I could take you higher. If I could steal the sun, could I be your fire?
Yeah, this is much better. I think that this speaker is a very nice evolution. Maybe it comes a bit too late because the Soundlink Mini 2 is a pretty bad speaker nowadays, but now these two really seem to perform pretty nice because, yeah, they took all of the advantages, which are very little by now, from the older model, the Soundlink Mini 2, and now simply make it better. So if, for example, this nice boost on low levels and also the, nice bass for a speaker of this little size. Of course, the Bose Soundlink 2 sounds totally out of control with the bass, but those two somehow can handle the big bass boost and now give you this kind of wow factor when it comes to bass, because you think, wow, how can a little speaker like this have such a great bass? So now let's also unplug the big one and go to my final thoughts or my first impressions. So I would say those two are pretty nice speakers. Both perform pretty nice against the competition. Like I said, the little one sounds also pretty good compared to the Flip 4 and even the JBL Charge 3. I mean, bass is super nice. Sadly, it isn't as loud as the others and also sounds pretty compressed on maximum volume, but still keeps some nice amount of bass and should be loud enough for any normal user. So if you don't want to make a huge party, this is a pretty nice speaker. Then if you upgrade to the bigger one, so the Revolve Plus, you simply spend some more money for bigger drivers and stronger electronics. Sound tuning seems to be the same, except for the upper bass boost, which I think is a bit stronger here. But tuning is almost the same, just that you get it on a higher, more powerful level. So both of them are pretty similar, only that the bigger one gives you everything with a bit more kick, a bit more power. So I hope you enjoyed this way too long first impressions video. I hope you didn't get annoyed by this different camera angle, but my other camera simply died on the battery. So now I think I'm done. If you liked this video, please leave a like or subscribe to the channel. Until then, have a great time and stay tuned for more videos about these two, because there will be a lot more. And bye bye.